Dear students, welcome back. Now we are going to see the bursae which are present around the shoulder joint or related to shoulder joint. In that, I have already mentioned about the subscapular bursa, infraspinous bursa. When we are dealing with capsule, why? Because this capsule has openings, isn't it? And in that, three openings are there, and two openings anteriorly and posteriorly. That will continue with the subscapularis bursa. Here the subscapular bursa is present here below the tendon of subscapularis muscle. So this one is subscapularis tendon. So here below this tendon you will have the subscapularis bursa. In the same way, and the posteriorly the infraspinatus muscle is present below the tendon of infraspinatus. That bursa called as infraspinous bursa. Sometimes it communicates with the joint from behind. Okay, so the subscapular bursa between the tendon of subscapularis and the fibrous capsule, and communicates with the joint cavity through an oval gap between the superior and middle glenohumeral joints. That is the exact place for subscapular bursa. And infraspinous bursa, it is present in between the joint cavity and the what you called as the tendon of infraspinatus muscle. Okay, and next one is the other important one is the subacromial bursa. So the bursa which is present below the acromion process is called as subacromial bursa, and also another bursa is called as deltoid bursa, so which is present below the deltoid muscle, that is called as subdeltoid bursa. Commonly, though these two are appear to be separate, but these two bursae are communicating with each other and forming commonly called these two bursae are called as subacromial bursa. Okay, so collectively called as subacromial bursa. You can talk about this bursa individually as below the acromion subacromial bursa, and this one is deltoid bursa. So here the deltoid muscle is present, and below this deltoid, this deltoid bursa is present. So because of this communicating with each other, these two bursa are communicating with each other, so they are collectively called as subacromial bursa only. Okay, this subacromial bursa, or whatever all these bursae will reduces the frictional forces between the anatomical structures. Okay, and also a number of non-communicating bursa may be found in the following areas. One is above the acromion process, and between the capsule and the coracoid process, and behind the coracobrachialis muscle, and in between the teres major and long head of the triceps, which is present on the posterior side, and also in front and behind the tendon of latissimus dorsi, which is present on the posterior aspect. So these are all other bursae which are related to this shoulder complex, and the major one, the important one, is the subacromial bursa. The subacromial bursa reduces the friction to permit smooth gliding between the humerus and the supraspinatus tendon. Humerus and the supraspinatus tendon. Okay, and the surrounding structures. The subacromial bursa reduces friction to permit smooth gliding between the humerus and the supraspinatus tendon. So this is the place where the supraspinatus muscle, so below this acromial process, and it is getting inserted there. So it is reducing the friction between the humerus and the supraspinatus tendon and also the surrounding structures. Okay, normally this subacromial bursa, where it is actually present, it is present between the supraspinatus and the coracoacromial arch, between the supraspinatus and the coracoacromial arch, and extends further laterally between the deltoid and the greater tubercle of the humerus. Okay, and this per se does not communicate with the joint. Okay, and it is also acts as secondary socket to allow the lateral rotation of the humerus during overhead elevation of the arm. Okay, so this is about the subacromial bursa, and this bursa, what is the main function of this bursa? This bursa reduces friction to permit smooth gliding between the humerus and the supraspinatus tendon and the surrounding structures. Okay, any interruption or failure of this gliding mechanism is the common cause of pain and decreased glenohumeral motion. So it occurs as the primary complaint for any shoulder.